Hey everybody, this is a record 45 that I purchased the other day of Victor Borge, who is a really funny comedian. And this is the A side of the record. I really don't like the B side too much. This is the A side, and it's called Phonetic Punctuation. Let me see if I can get the record. I think this should be pretty good. Here we go.
My name is Victor Borge, but you just call me Borge as my father usually did, because he couldn't remember my first name either. I come from Denmark, usually. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to speak a word of English upon my arrival, and that was pretty bad, because I found that most people over here do, okay. And I tried to learn the language, and I got along. Within a few weeks, I could already say a few words, a few sentences, like, for instance, do you want your coffee now or later? And things like that. Later, I learned a little more as time and a half went by, and I finally found that even people who speak English sometimes do not understand each other either, also. And I tried to find the reason, and here is what I found out. When you write a letter, you use punctuation marks in order to make your sentences understood. For instance, you write a letter to a very dear friend of yours, and in the middle of it doesn't have to be a very dear friend, just a friend of yours, and as a matter of fact, it doesn't even have to be a friend, just someone you know. This is not important, just wasting a lot of time. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to know them, just write the letter. Now, in the middle of the letter, you write a sentence like, was I an idiot? And you put a question mark after that sentence. That indicates that you are not quite sure. If you, instead of the question mark after the same sentence, put an exclamation point, then there is no doubt. Do you see the difference on account of the little sign? That is what makes these signs so important. But we do not use these signs when we talk. And that might be the reason that we do not understand each other. Therefore, I have invented the phonetic punctuation, which means that while we talk, we will use punctuation marks by giving them sounds. Like a period, a dash. Exclamation point is a vertical dash with a period underneath. Here's a comma. Quotation are two commas. Or if you happen to be left-handed, question mark is rather difficult. And finally, we have the colon. The two little dots, you put them either over or under each other, as you prefer. I think in America, you usually put them over each other. See, in Denmark, we reverse them and put them under each other. But that's just a small country. Colon sounds like this, and that is all. I bring with me a book. The book is written by Shakespeare, Johann Sebastian Shakespeare, Jr. And I would like to find a short story so you can hear how the phonetic punctuation sounds when being used. Now I have one here, prepared right in the beginning of the book, page 276. This story takes place in London, somewhere in England. Through the open window, there suddenly came light. Beautiful Eleanor sat alone, dreaming of but one thing. 2 years had passed since she met Sir Henry. She could still remember the unhappy evening when her father had thrown him out. They had been sitting in the park, and Henry had said, "Darling, is this the first time you have loved?" And she had answered, "Yes, but it is so wonderful that I hope it will not be the last." Suddenly she heard a well-known sound. It was he. In 2 strides he was near her, embraced, kissed, and caressed her. Henry! What is love? She asked. He answered, well, I couldn't live without. She asked, oh, I'm sorry. She was left-handed. Where have all your thoughts been this while? And he answered, with thee, O maiden. Turn the page. Suddenly he was gone. All she heard was the well-known sound of his departing horse. The end.
Well, Victor Borge is pretty funny.